The trailer for Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi just dropped, and we've gone over it frame by frame to catch what you might have missed. If you're worried about spoilers, consider yourself warned. The trailer fades in with a shot of Rey slamming her hand on the ground, panting heavily, almost as though coming out of a vision. In the background, there's what appears to be the entrance to a cave. Could this be a similar trial to the cave scene in Empire? It could also just be a cave. Following the Lucasfilm logo, we hear Luke's voice saying, "Breathe, just breathe," over aerial shots of islands, presumably on the same planet Luke's hiding out, which is called Octo. Next, there's a shot of Rey standing in front of the ocean, followed by shots of her hand levitating stones. We wonder if she's going to have to levitate the Falcon out of a certain body of water, the ocean, like Luke tried to with his X-Wing out of a swamp. We kinda hope not, because Chewie would get mad. Next, Luke asks, "What do you see?" To which Rey says, "Light." And what we see is Leia overlooking a map in Resistance space. But what we hear is far more interesting. A very faint whisper of Leia saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan." Again, we still don't know who Rey is descended from, and some people think she's a Kenobi. Then she says darkness, and we see Kylo Ren's smashed mask, which leaves a lot of questions. Did he save it from Starkiller Base just to smash it? Did he get a new one and already ruin it somehow? Or is this a flashback to a previous mask that also got messed up? And behind this shot, we hear a faint whisper of Obi-Wan's voice, we think, saying, "Seduced by the dark side." Finally, Rey says, "The balance," and we hear Yoda saying, "Train, you will, to become a Jedi," and we see something out of place in a Star Wars movie, books! They're perched on a crude shelf coming out of something that looks like tree roots, and we see someone's gloved hand touch the cover of one, which has a faded image that resembles the prequel-era Jedi Order's insignia. In any case, they look old. Whose hand it is another mystery. It's not a black glove, so probably not Kylo, but maybe it's someone we haven't met yet. Perhaps Benicio del Toro's character, or Laura Dern, or maybe just Luke put a glove on. Next, we see an aerial shot of Rey training with her saber, while someone, probably Luke, watches from the right. We're pretty sure that's a statue or some kind of rock formation on the left. Luke says, "It's so much bigger," and the fanfare kicks in. Next shot is brand new ships, very prequel era aesthetically, kicking up clouds of red dust while tearing across a massive desert towards approaching walkers. Their stance looks different from AT-AT's, and it's been decades since Empire, so that checks out. Rian Johnson has confirmed that this is a mining planet called Crate, and the ships are called skimmers, so our theory is maybe this is a new tactic to take down walkers. For instance, maybe the ground is weak for mining, or maybe the minerals are dangerous themselves. Next shot is Finn, probably recovering from Force Awakens injuries in a weird suit. Could this be the new Bacta-tank? Then of course there's Poe and BB-8 booking it down a hallway that's exploding, presumably towards Poe's X-Wing in the next shot, which is also exploding. And then to keep it fair, we get a shot of the Falcon blowing up some TIE fighters. Then we see Rey sprinting through the dark, and then a shot of Kylo. He's got a much smaller scar than a lot of us expected, though we can't see half his face. Then a burning temple that a hooded figure and R2 are standing in front of. Chances are this is the opposite angle of that fiery Luke and R2 shot from the Force Awakens flashback sequence. Maybe this is Luke's Jedi Temple. Following that, more fire and enter Phasma alongside a row of First Order troopers, and yes, there's fire, but they're also indoors, so it's very unlikely this is the same scene as the last one. Next, our first shot of a space battle, which has the usual X-Wings and TIE fighters, but also our first look at Resistance frigates, which are more angular than the original trilogy designs, and some very blurry red triangles that appear to be A-Wings. What planet is that they're fighting over? There's a lot of water, so it could be Octo, where Luke and Rey are. At the start of all that excitement, punctuated by a very long pause, we heard Luke say, "I only know one truth, ... It's time for the Jedi to end." And then there's a final shot of him standing in the mouth of a cave. This, coupled with The Last Jedi's title, can be interpreted a lot of ways. Does Luke want the Jedi to end for personal reasons, since so many have turned to the dark side or been killed? Or is this something about bringing balance to the Force? Or has he just retired to scenic Octo to read his books and stare at the sea? Let us know what you think in the comments. The Last Jedi is out December 15th, and there will surely be plenty more speculation, rumors, reveals, and totally crackpot fan theories before then, and we will be keeping track of all of them right here on IGN. So stick around, and may the Force be with you.